what do you mean by CNC? CNC is nothing but computerized numerical control. The first version of CNC was ANSI, that is numerical control. Some of you might aware that numerical control, it means that we are adding instruction in terms of numbers. The computer numbers are that numbers are being fed to the computer by punch card and punch steps in 5 to 6 decades ago. But nowadays we are having a very sophisticated system to which we are calling this computerized numerical control, wherein we are using computers to send information to the computer, and computer is having certain information in terms of some G codes and M codes that we are feeding to the machine, and the machine will operate in that manner to which we apply the code. Okay, now let us read out the definition. It converts a design produced by computer-aided design softwares. Nowadays, we are having softwares like Delcam, PowerCam, NX, Unigraphics, and they are equipped with manufacturing feasibilities and facilities. So, in manufacturing facilities, what they facilitate when we import the CAD model with giving certain instruction, that CAD model can be converted into the G code and M code, and which we can send it to the machine, and the machine will produce the same component as of the designed component. Okay, so this is nothing but the CNC, and there are so many advantages and disadvantages that you might have seen or you might have heard. Now the next is, this is the machine for which we will learn the programming. It is CNC Turning Center. It is also being called as CNC lathe. The same machine can be recognized as a CNC lathe. It is the manufacturing of the CNC is Jyoti CNC. Jyoti CNC Automation Private Limited, who is the manufacturer of this machine that you can see it on the screen. The model number is DX150, and the machine is being equipped with the controller of Siemens make. Siemens is the manufacturer of the controller, so it is equipped with Siemens make controller, and the version is Sinumeric Sinutrain 828D. Okay. Does anybody know have any idea regarding what do you mean by DX150? If you know what do you mean by DX150, please put that on chat box. Then we will proceed further. We must know the meaning of DX150. DX150 means diameter. DX150. This 150 stands for diameter, the maximum or outer diameter. Outer diameter of the machine is 150. The machine is capable to machine within the range up to 150 mm diameter. So that is why it is being known as DX150. The machine series is being developed by Jyoti CNC. Okay. Now we must have questions related to. No, it is not the chuck dia, but it is the job dia, workpiece dia. It is nothing but workpiece dia, not the job. Sorry, not the chuck diameter. Now, you must have questions related. What do you mean by 828D? See, the previous version of 828D, that is 802D. The previous version to that is 802D, and the current version which is available to the market, that is 840D. So the sequence is like 802D, then 828D, and the latest series in controller, that is 840D. So these are the sequence by which the controller is available nowadays from the CNC. 802D is the older version. 828D, it is like that has been introduced in 2010, 2011, and recent 3 to 4 years they have introduced 840D, which is being applied to the multi-axis machines, not for the CNC turning and VMC only, but it is for 4-axis, 5-axis, or 6-axis machines. It is being used for that. So these are this. Now you can see there are certain equipment that you can see. Here you can see the controller. So this is controller. Here you can see the chuck. This is turret. This one is tailstock. Okay. It is the chip rack wherein you can store the chips. Here you can monitor the pressure. See, in this machine, we are operating this chuck with the help of hydraulic pressure, as well as we are operating the tailstock. To that we are calling a dwell. That we are operating that also with the help of hydraulic pressure. And from these two knobs, we can set the pressure of the chuck, and hydraulic pressure at the chuck as well as hydraulic pressure at the tailstock. Depends on the type of job that for that we are operating. We depends on the raw material that we are using. We have to set the pressure. For MS, we can set it up to maximum 6 psi and all. Same for the Dell, and that you can set it. These are the dial gauges related to, one for chuck and one for the dual. So this is, and here you can see it is the opening and closing pedal for the chuck, as well as this is opening and closing pedal for the dual or tailstock. Okay. So so far, if you are having any doubt, I will wait for 2 minutes. You can put on chat box. I will wait for 2 minutes, then we will proceed further. This is just a construction details related to the entire DX150 model. 840D, see, 840D is the advanced version of controller. 840D is the advanced version of the controller. 82D is current. 840D, that is of Siemens controller version, which is being used to 4-axis machine, 5-axis and 6-axis machines, because in that machines there are multiple axes which is being synchronized with respect to each other. So it is having fascinating cycles which helps to develop intricate shapes. Use of chuck pedal is to clamp, declamp. One time if you press the pedal, it will help you to opening of chuck. Other time it will close the chuck, and the chuck will operate by 2 mm. So if the diameter is set to 50 mm for workpiece, you have to, once you press the pedal, the chuck will open to 52 mm diameter, and once you again press the chuck, it will close to or shrink to 50 mm. DX, it is not D and X different meaning, but it is DX150. DX150 ma 150 means for 150 mm diameter. There is no specific means of X. It is just a series. DX is a series. It starts from 60 mm, DX60 to DX300. This operation is automatic, not everything, but the cycle or tool workpiece interface is automatic. But clamping and declamp is you can say semi-auto, manual, or you can set it auto. In automatic machines, the job will load and unload by on its own. But the machine which we are using, it does not having that much facilities, because if we set for fully automatic machine, it might cost you in crores. This machine cost us 16 lakhs rupees. Okay, here you can see the chuck. It is 3-jaw chuck. Likewise, you can, if you configure 4-jaw, you can contact manufacturer and you can ask for 4-jaw chuck while purchasing the machines. Here you can see the tailstock. This is in this automatic machine language, they are calling it as a dual. So this is chuck, tailstock, sorry, headstock. This is tailstock, to which we are calling the dual. So here you can see the chuck pedal, as well as you can, same manner we can have it dual pedal. Okay, and here you can monitor. Since the machine is closed, it shows 0 pressure. Okay, otherwise it is being set to 6 to 10. The maximum capacity to this is 10. Here you can have a close look with the workpiece loaded. So this is workpiece, which is of nylon material. We are offering students to work on nylon material so that it saves tooling cost. Here you can see the turret. Here you can see, these are, we have set like, this is, here you can see the tool numbers. This is tool number 3, this is tool number 2, this is tool number 1. Likewise, you can refer to the multiple numbers. See, this is OD tool. Likewise, this is also OD tool. This post is for also OD tool, and this is OD tool. Now the rest are like this one, this one, this one, and this one. This all four slots are for ID tools and 4 slots for OD tool. And here we have attached one tool for you guys. That is nothing but the boring bar. Here you can see this is threading tool, this is finishing tool, and the other are roughing tools and the other tool, parting tools. So these are the turret which is equipped with total 8 number of tools, and we have set or configured the machine in such a way that we can add 4 OD tool and 4 ID tool based on the operations. Yes, you can call ATC, but ATC is automatic tool changer. That automatic tool changer comes on VMC machines. In CNC lathe or CNC turning machines, we must have turret. It is carbide tool. It is carbide insert type tool. Later on I will explain the how to select tools and according to operations. Okay. Anything related to this turret questions? Like I said, ATC can be there on VMC. And ATC, full form of ATC is automatic tool changer. Okay. Here you can see this is entire is tool holder. This is the insert type tool. Okay. Similarly, this is insert and this is boring bar. Okay. Likewise, here the golden or copper color shape, that is tool, but the rest is holder. No, you cannot equip more than 8 tools. If you want to equip more than 8 tools, then you have to replace the tool. VMC means it is not VMC, it is vertical machining center. VMC. If you want to more, see, we can equip 4 OD tools and 4 ID tools. But if there is such operation which occupy 5 OD tools only, then you have to replace one of the 4 tools of OD, and same for the ID. This is how you can change the tools. But as far as our knowledge is concerned, mostly with 8 tools, most of the operations can be done. Okay, anything more? Yes, maximum 8 tools. If you wanted to use 9th number of tool, then you have to remove one of the tools and replace the tools with the other. Here you can see the screen of the controller. This is the entire screen part wherein you can see the coordinates. Here you can see the feed rates and speed. Here you can see feed rate, the bottom part is speed, and here you can see the tool number. Here you can see the tool number, and these are the X and Z coordinates. Here you can see the different operations which can be performed on turning center, and here you can see these are the some G codes and some other machining parameters. See, here you can see this is QWERTY pad. This is QWERTY. This is QWERTY pad. If we talk about 802D, if we talk about 802D, which is the older controller than that of the 828D, which is the older version of 828D controller. In this case, the QWERTY pad is not there. At that time, there were alphanumeric pad, like the phone we were using decades ago. कि वो वाले फोन में क्या था कि आपको ABC एक बटन में था, इस तरह का पहला आता था. So we have replaced that type of alphanumeric keypad in 828D. Okay, other features are also there, but we have replaced the basic thing, that is data insertion. So we can, with this type of keyboard, we can easily insert and type CNC program in this. So it would be like very easiest way to enter the and fastest way to enter the programs. Okay, but in 802D we were not having that, and 840D is equipped with also QWERTY keypad. Okay, so these are the, and here you can add some, this is program manager button, and these are the other operations buttons, and this is machine. In order to get this screen, you have to press this machine button. The main interesting part is this is emergency switch. This is an emergency switch. Emergency switch is being used to or you can call it a quill switch. In any such of emergency, you can use it. We will display it in the broader version. No, it is not touch screen. These are the buttons. These are the these are the buttons that you have to press. If you wanted to operate this button, then you have to press it here. Then you have to press this button. In some sophisticated machine, which is very costly, they might give you the touch screen option. Okay. Now let us see the controller in detail. Yes, you can see the broader view of the entire controller. Now here you can see, see this is your X coordinate, this is your Z coordinates. In automatic program, you will continuously observe that this program is being changed. So if you write X10, Z10, so it will start moving towards that direction, and you will see this value is getting changed. Okay, here you can see the this is right now the machine is equipped with tool number 7, and its offset is being D1. Okay, offset is being set to D1. Here you can, since the machine is rest right now, so that is why feed rate is 0. If we are operating machine with feed rate 200 mm per minute, then you will see that 200 mm per minute. Here you can see the percentage of feed rates. If we define feed rate at 200, if the percentage is set to 90%, then the machine will show 200 here and 180, which is 70, 80, 20, the percentage we set in here. Sometimes it is being it is very helpful to control the feed rate, because the feed rate we have set, the feed rate we want to operate. If we want to change it, then we can change the percentage, so that we not need to change the entire program at all. Okay, now here you can see this RPM, spindle speed. Here we can set the spindle speed. See that, and you can operate different cycles from here. Okay, and in order to operate this location, you just have to click here. If you want to operate this, you just have to click here. Okay, now you must have a question, how do we enter the program? So you can see the USB. With the help of USB option, we can enter the program. With the help of LAN, here is a LAN card. Okay, so we can enter the program using the LAN. Okay, and if we are having RF card, which is not available right now, but since it is older version, we were having RF card, so we can use that RF card to insert the program. So this is just this much part of the screen. Let us see the further other parts of the controller. Okay, here you can see the options. This is QWERTY QWERTY pad. This is number pad. To suppose that we wanted to write G01, then we have to press G01. Okay, these are the like same options that we have in tab, control, alter buttons. Okay, suppose if you wanted to operate this greater than, less than arrows, then you have to press shift plus this button. Suppose that if you wanted to write this symbol, then how do you do this? So it is shift to plus this button. This is how you will be able to enter this option. Okay, this is for alarm cancel. Suppose that you can see this is spindle hold. The alarm is here, it is spindle hold. Suppose that you wanted to cancel the alarm, you can press this button. This is for home screen. This is program manager, wherein you can see and read or import and export the program. This is the menu selection. For these are the, see, these all the function are for PLC base. If you wanted to change the machine parameter, then we can set it. Okay, here from here we will take work offset. We will later on tell you how to take work offset. This is up, down, left and right, in order to move the cursor. Okay, while typing the program, we will use up, down, as well as left and right. And same way, if you wanted to have large program, then if we wanted to drag down the cursor, then we can use page up, page down, and end button to go to the, or to jump to the program at the last stage. This is simply as we have in keyboard, backspace and delete and insert button. Here we does not have enter option to go to the new line. So this input is equivalent to enter. If you press the input button, you will jump to the next line. Okay, so far if you have any question. Prashant, I will inform you what do you mean by offset once we start the programming. Right now, just learn about the screen that you are having. See, like I said, in such emergencies such that the tool has been broken or we are observing that the tool might collide with the workpiece or there are some other options which should not be done and it is being done. So in such situations, we will be pressing down this emergency button. Emergency button will stop or put on hold all the processes which is being run automatically. Okay. Now there is a reset button. Reset button is to reset the parameters, or you can say before we start the cycle, we are pressing the reset button so that the previous command or previous operation can be put on hold. Okay. Now the important button, there is one more button, that is machine on. So how to start the machine? First of all, we will remove the emergency button, then we will press the reset button, and then we will turn on machine. And in order to move this spindle and feed, we will, this is spindle start and this is feed start. This is the spindle start and this is feed start. Okay, these are the three mode which is essential to learn before we start learning programming. Among them, first one is jog mode. Jog mode is nothing but totally manual mode, wherein you can move the tools, in x direction and in z direction, x plus minus, z plus minus, if we are having jog mode. Okay, and since the light is glowing on, which means that the jog mode is on. If we press on second mode is MDA mode. MDA is nothing but manual data in, it is nothing but manual data input. Manual data input, it simply means, suppose that if I write M06 T1, the meaning of this M06 is tool change automatically, and T1 stands for select tool number 1. Or so once we enter this line M06 T1, the tool number 1 will be loaded in the turret. Tool number 1 will be loaded in the turret. Okay, using these lines as of program. So if we are having such shorter programs or some specific instruction that we want to give to the machines, then we will use MDI mode. Suppose that if we wanted to just rotate the chuck and see that the workpiece is being properly attached or not. So what we will write? We will write M03 as 1200. Here M03 does mean spindle turn clockwise, and 1200 means the chuck will rotate at 1200 RPM. Okay, M03 stands for spindle turn clockwise, and S1200, whatever is being written after this S word is being considered as the number of RPM to which it has to rotate, and 3 means clockwise. Okay, so such kind of specific operations can be entered on MDI mode. The next mode is auto mode. In auto mode, we import or write the program to the program manager, and we will just press the reset and then after start button. So the entire process till end will complete on its own. We does not need to do any instruction to the machines in between. So this is how these three mode, jog mode, auto mode and MDI mode will work. First mode is jog mode. Let me repeat one more time. Jog mode is being used to move the x-axis and z-axis manually. MDA mode is being used to insert some specific operation or some like 3-4 line programs. Okay, and its meaning is manual data input. So we will write a very short program in it. And then the third mode is auto mode. Auto mode is like fully automatic, wherein we will just import or we will write the program in the program manager, and then we will press reset and then we will press cycle start. So until finished, the machine will work fully automatically. We cannot change or we cannot interrupt the machine. But yes, we can operate only emergency button in case of emergency. Okay, so far if you have any doubt, please ask me. I'll take pause for 2 minutes. Nikunj Vadagama, what is the maximum RPM in CNC? Yes, that is a good question. The maximum RPM to the CNC machine is 6,000. 6,000 RPM the machine can go from 0 to 6,000 RPM. There are certain machines which can go to 10,000 RPM also. But the machine that we have, that is DX150, is equipped with this maximum RPM is 6,000. Okay. Operations are also rated. Yes, operation can be resetted. If there is, if I think that my program may have some mistake, which while operating the machine, I just come to know that this line could be a mistake, or it might call, the tool might call it with the, so I can press the reset button, correct the program, and then I can again cycle the, I can again restart the cycle. In job mode, if it is manual, will it be the accuracy? No, job mode does not provide a good accuracy, but it is being just to take the work offset and to lift up the tool once the program has been done, and to move the X and Z to take offset. We will later on explain you how to take the offset, but right now do you just understand that job mode is nothing but a totally manual mode. Yes, RPM affects the smoothness of the job. In manufacturing process 1 and manufacturing process 2, once you learn the lathe machine or production technology, you will learn the tool terminology. It might help you to learn the effects of RPM and feed rate on the finishing of the job. No, this machine does not stop if the tool break, but there are certain machines are available like Mazak, Haas, DMG, Morisaiki. There are those machines will stop when the tool breaks. It is having force sensor or load sensor attached to the tool spindle, which will tell the machine that the tool is broken. So the machine will change the tool automatically, and the system will run again. And it is being very sophisticated machine, and the system is being said as flexible manufacturing system. It is the part of that tool monitoring and control system. But the machine which we have, it does not have that facility because it costs us in crores. What, Aditya Thakur, I didn't get your question. Percentage feed button. Yes. Okay. Percentage feed and percentage spindle. Okay. See, let me get you this. Just a moment. Do you see this? 85%, and here it is 100%. Okay. So you can see that this is 85% and this is at 100%. Spindle is at 100%, which is here. It is being indicated to 100%, and it is in between 80 and 90. That is 85. So it is 85%, which means that suppose that I have given the spindle at 1000 RPM, and once I start the job, I see that the machine is a little bit vibrating or the surface accuracy does not seem proper. And how do I increase the speed? I can increase it by 20%, but I can reduce up to 50% spindle speed. So if I set to 80% of this knob, then here you will see this 80%. Okay, and 80% of what? 1000, because I have specified the chuck to be rotated at 1000%. Okay, do you get it, Aditya? And all others, this percentage speed and percentage feed button. Calibration does not need to be repeated on periodic basis, but once there is a tool workpiece interface in a wrong manner, which means that tool collides with the workpiece, in that case you have to calibrate, and for that you can refer on YouTube or online. There are certain procedure is being given to calibrate the machine, and the machine which calibrate this is being said as a laser interferometer. Laser interferometer is a device which is being used to calibrate the machine. Okay. Is there any button or coolant? Yes, here you can see coolant on. It is itself is on a screen. Here you can see there is coolant on, and we are not having this cheap forward, but if we purchase cheap conveyor, then we can connect connect this button with here, so that once we start, the chip which is being falling out of the machine, it is being conveyed to some other region wherein we are storing the chip. And here is the coolant on. If we press it again, it is coolant off. Suppose if you are working on MS Steel, how many spindle RPM? And in MS, the RPM range is from 800 to 1200, and the feed rate is 0.15. The feed rate range is in between 0.15 to 0.4 mm per revolution for MS material. For MS Steel, the feed rate is 0.15, 15 to 0.40 mm per revolution as a feed rate, and the RPM is in the range from 800 to 1200. Again, let me correct one more time that the spindle RPM depends on the depth of cut that we are giving, and the other thing is the tool which we are using. The parameters which I have stated, it is being applied to carbide insert tool. It is for that 0.15 to 0.4 and 800 to 1200 of RPM, and you can give 200 micron depth of cut for that parameter. Okay. What do you mean by rapids? Rapids, see, we will see that command rapid. Rapid means rapid, which is having exceeded movement. The machine is having rapid movement to move the X and Z axis at 24,000 mm per minute. So the machine can move from one point to the other point at a speed of 24,000 mm per minute. 24,000 millimeter per minute ની સ્પીડ થી મશીન ફરે છે. Spindle and depth of cut. See, for carbide tip tool and the raw material, which is MS Steel, the depth of cut should be 200 micron or 300 at max, or in the worst case scenario 200 micron, and the spindle speed is 800 to 1200 rpm, 800 થી 1200 rpm, and the feed rate is 0.15 for finished cut, and for rough cut up to 0.4 mm. You can set in between, depends on the tool you are using. DRN means dry run. So when we are trying out the new program, if we write the dry run, the machine will run on rapid movement. But in turning center, it is not recommended to use dry run. It is meant for VMC job, wherein we are having planar jobs. Accuracy, positional accuracy is one micron. Positional accuracy for CNC machine is 1 micron, and the machining accuracy could be 5 to 10 micron. You can work, and there are certain high-end manufacturers are manufacturing 2-3 microns up to also. And in the least case or worst case, they are manufacturing it with 1 micron too, but with a specific conditions wherein the CNC machine has to be put at. Rapid button, what I said, Prashant, rapid button is used to move the axis in a rapid motion. The rapid motion, what I said, that is 24,000 mm per minute. 24,000 millimeter per minute ની સ્પીડ થી axis ને move કરી શકાય. When the tool is away from the workpiece and we have to bring the tool nearer to the workpiece, we normally use that option of rapid to bring down tool from far more position to the nearest position to the workpiece, so that we can save time. If we are giving specific feed rate button, then it will take 1-2 minutes to reach down nearby the workpiece. Okay. Now the next and important thing is axis designation. Next and important thing is axis designation. We are using right hand principle. We are using right hand principle to designate the axis, which means that the thumb is x-axis. The thumb is x-axis, that you can see. The first index finger is of y, and this one is z-axis. In turning center, we does not have y-axis, so we can eliminate this part. We just have x-axis and we have the z-axis. The need of rapid button is to, what I said, to move the tool from the very far distance. Like say, let us take the case then where the tool is at home position and we have to move the tool to 300 mm from that point to the other moment, and in between them there is no collision is possible. So how do? We will move the tool from that position to the nearest position rapidly, so that we can save time. Now let us see that X is the thumb and we are having the other axis, that is Z. Okay, so X and Z, and we have said that such that suppose that this is the workpiece. Okay, so the Z movement is this, it is Z plus, and in the inside direction that is Z minus, and the X will be in the diameter, so X will move plus in diameter. Normally it won't go beyond, so it is fine that if we skip the negative part of X, because the tool will cut up to zero level of X, it won't go beyond this. Okay, so this is the Z axis. Okay, this is the X axis. X will and for in order to better remember, what you can say, the X will increase or decrease in diameter, and the Z will increase or decrease in length of the job. Okay, is axis designation clear, or if you are having any doubt? This is chuck, headstock, this is tailstock, to which we can call a dwell. Okay, now the next part that we have, that is tools for CNC turning. Suppose if we wanted to make the stud type of component that you can see, this is the threading operation. So here you can see is a threading tool, and the insert for thread is this. Here you can see the insert. Okay, so this one is the threading insert. Here you can see the threading insert is being attached to the tool holder, and this is the insert. Okay, this is nothing but a boring bar, and here is the boring insert. It is being used to do ID operation. This is being used to do ID operation. Then this type of tool is being said as a right hand tool. There are two types of tool which is being normally stated such that let us say this is the tool. Okay, so this tool will cut in this direction, so it is being said as right hand tool. And there are other type of tool which is being operated in this manner, which can cut in this direction, so this tool is being said as left hand tool. Now the other tool, here you can see it is a parting off tool. This being said as cutting off or parting off. Okay, here you can see that is back turning, which is what I said already, that is left hand tool. It belongs to that category. And here you can see it is a grooving tool. The other name of the grooving tool is plunge cutter. The name of the tool is plunge cutter, and this both are the tools. They are same, but operating manner is a little bit different. Okay, but both are right hand type of tools. Okay, any questions so far in this? Because see, selection of tool is important, so if you have any doubt you can ask it right now. Yes, knurling could be there, but knurling is not mentioned in here. Knurling can be done, but it is as similar to as of the knurling in lathe. Selection criteria is the type of component that we have to make and the raw material of the component to which we have to use. Okay, there are selection criteria. It's like for that you have to refer an entire handbook. But normally in industry, what people are doing, the tool manufacturer is having certain guy, they send over to the industries and they will give the trial. Okay, and based on their experience, they will suggest the tool. Because in industry nowadays, what will happen? The day by day, the raw material is being changing. Okay, so the person from the tool manufacturers will visit and will prove that that tool is perfect based on their decisions. But how do we select tool as per our level? That would be the good question, and let me explain it in this manner. Suppose that if I wanted to make the thread of 1.5 pitch, then I have to select the tool such that it has 1.5 mm of pitch, and I have to set the parameters such that it will give this. Suppose that I wanted to bore the ID of certain diameters, then it is having certain depth. Like let us say if we talk about this diameter, then this tool can only enter up to 10 mm distance. This tool can only be enter up to this 10 mm distance. This is nothing but 10 mm distance. So it can move only up to 10 mm. So I will be able to bore it within 10 mm of branch. Suppose that if I wanted to machine this region, if I wanted to operate or machine this region, okay, the basic shape is like this. Okay, so if I'm using this right hand tool, it would be my wrong choice of tool, because when it machine in this region, this part will not be cut, or if it is going to cut this part using this tool, then the tool will collide with respect to material and it will chop off this material extra, which should not be done. So either I can use two tools, one is which is left hand tool, or else what I can do, I can first plunge this part out. I will remove this material first and then I can use this. But again, it depends on the dimension. It must not, if this distance is too small, then again I will not be able to use it. For that case, this tool would be the better option. Got it? Grooving is mean plunge, other mean is plunge cutter. Plunge cutter means it is being used to groove certain part that you can see. Here there are three grooves: groove 1, groove 2, and groove 3. Groove tool for angle groove, like V groove. Yes, you can do V groove, but not exactly V groove. For suppose that if you wanted to have this kind of V groove can be of this type, as well as V groove can be of this type. This type of V groove can be done using this type of plunge cutter. Okay, this type of plunge cutter can operate this, but this type of V groove can be done with the diamond cutter. With the diamond cutter. So this is the tool for this, and to this we are calling a diamond cutter. And then short name of the tool is that is DMGT. I will explain the designation of the tool in just next or few more slides. Cutting off is means you are completing, you are removing. See, suppose that there is a continuous job wherein we are inserting a huge length of bar. From that, once the selected length is being machined, we have to chop off that part, first part, so that we can fed in the other bar. So for that kind of job, we are using cutting off tool, which is being used to cut. Suppose that the material is like this. So we are removing this and we will remove this. Okay, so that we can fit in the new component. Now the one of the major thing that the students are lacking while learning the CNC programming is to selection of tool, and the suppose that if we are going to the store to purchase the tool, we must designate the tool with certain names, and the names are let me tell you the first tool, that is CNMG. These are the most important number that we have to use in industry while purchasing the tool. So first tool is C10. So we have the tool will look like this. So the tool which I have represented is CNMG. C means what? C means its shape. Its shape is rhombic. It looks like rhombus. Okay, and which is having this angle, as 80 degree, which is having 80 degree. Okay, now so are you getting? So it is CNMG. Suppose that the other tool which we will be using, that is rhombic, that is VNMG. So VNMG will have this. Okay, if it is DNMG, then the first part is shows what the tool will be having 55 degree diameter, sorry, 55 degree angle between this. Okay, VNMG will be having 30 degree. Okay, and one more thing that you will see, that is yes, here it is TNMG. It is having 60 degrees since it is a equilateral triangle. Okay, and one more thing that you might have seen, that is WNMG. Okay, it is WNMG. So these are the mostly tools like CNMG, then DNMG, TNMG, and VNMG. These are the inserts, shape, and angles. Okay, so do you get the first point? That is CNMG. C stands for, the first letter stands for the shape of the tool. The shape of the tool. Okay. See, if it is the CNMG tool, then we can operate the tool four way. Okay. You can cut from this. If this cut is damaged, then you can rotate the tool 180 degree with respect to this axis, and you can give this to this location by rotating it 180 degree. So the other face we will be having, and the bottom part of this is having other two. So we can use this tool four times. So that is, the first letter stands for C, T, D, and more many number of option. Now the second, let us talk about second part. Second is N. Okay, so N does means that the tool is flat on first. Its relief angle is 0 degree, that you can see. That N stands for, here you can see that N stands for, this relief angle is 0. Okay, so mostly if we are having two top and bottom, if we wanted to use both of the faces as of cutting edge, then it could be 0. Okay, if we are having 3 degree, then the front face is being tilted 3 degree with respect to the imaginary front axis or front plane. So it is N. Then if we talk about the other, so that is third digit, that's for M. For M, our cases, the tolerance range could be plus or minus 0.8, plus or minus 0.08, that is 8 micron to 18 micron, because of tolerance of nose height. Okay, and this is how we will operate. So this is nothing but M. Okay, third digit. Okay, the next is G. G stands for what? Yes, the clamping position. Clamping position of the chip breaker. The chip breaker is this area. Okay, the chip breaker is this area, and this is the bolting location. So that is the G with hole and cylindrical hole double sided. So which means that I can use this tool ups, downs, and like 1, 2, 3, and 4 way, which I have stated previously, that I can use it front side, the rest side, and the bottom side of the same piece. Okay, now the series of 12, that is the diameter of inscribed circle. The 12 stands for diameter of inscribed circle. So in that 12 mm we are having two position, which is either it could be of 12 mm and it could be of 12.7 mm. And okay, now next is the 12 part is clear. Now then let us move to the 6th digit, which is 04. So that you can see. Okay, the insert thickness. Insert thickness is 4 mm. For our case, the thickness could be 4 mm. It could be in the range from 4 mm, 4.76. So 4 stands for 4.76. That is the thickness of the insert. Then 8. 8 stands for what? The corner radius, to which we are calling it a nose radius also. In nose radius cases, the thickness, the front part, which is this radius of the front corner. The radius of the front corner is 0.8. See, here the selection of this corner radius is a very crucial thing. This type of corner radius can be used for roughing of the operation, and this 0.2 mm corner radius could be used for finishing operation. 0.2 is mostly suitable for finishing operation, and 0.8 could be used for roughing operation, and 0. Could also be for semi-finished cut. So while selecting the parameters of the tool, we must know the nose radius, or to which we are calling also as of the corner radius. Okay, so this part is clear. Now let us go to the eighth number of digit, which is round cutting gauge. Okay, so the front part is little bit chamfered or like filleted, to which we are calling it a E. Okay, now then N is neutral. Okay, N stands for neutral. It like I said, the tool can be, see this if we as I said previously that there are certain tool which is right-handed. There are certain tool which is right-handed like this. It can cut in right direction. There are certain tool can be left-handed which can cut in left direction, and there are certain like tools like diamond cut tool, okay, which can cut in left also direction as well as it can cut on right direction. The tool which I have stated, for that we have to give R. Okay, and if it is like diamond point tool, then we have to replace the ninth number with the N. Okay, and MP, that is chip breaker. It is a type of chip breaker, so we are using this type of chip breaker to break up the tool, because see, chip breaker is also essential because it depends on the type of raw material, whether it might be ductile or it might be the elastic material or what kind of material, or it might be brittle material. Sometimes if it is a cast iron, then it gives like powder form, so for that we might not be needing chip breaker. The chip will break automatically the moment it cuts. See, the tool names is essential to learn, because see, we are engineers and we are not the persons who go to the stores and giving like give me this, give me that. So we must go to the stores and we have to tell the person that we need CNMG, VNMG, TNMG or what. Okay, yes, you are right. There are two, no, not there are not only two MP, but I have just listed few of the chip breakers, but there are so many according to that tool catalog. Okay, and their tool catalog, there are different types of materials by which the tool can be made, like carbide, cemented tools, tungsten tools. So the all in all the tool material category you will find MP. In all the category you will be having that LP, MP, RP, LM, MM, RM likewise. Now if you see, this is CNMG. This is the first category of the tool. This is number one, which is CNMG. CNMG, C stands for 80 degree, if you remember. So there you can see the 80 degree angle between two faces, and the shape is rhombus shape. Okay, this is VNMG. The angle is 35 degree. Angle is 35 degree. Okay, and it is also rhombus shape, and the angle between this is 35 degree. Now this is TNMG. T stands for triangular shape, and obviously it must be 60 degree. Okay, and the last one is WNMG. In WNMG and TMG we will be having 1, 2, 3, and the bottom part 4, 5, and the bottom is 6. So we in both of these cases we will be having 6 number of faces from where we can cut the material. So it is having 6 turning sides. So this tool can be adjusted 6 times, and it gives it survives long than as compared to this, because the tool number 1 CNMG and tool number 2 VNMG can be operated only 4 side. So that for okay. Now mostly this tool is being used for rough, since it is having larger angle, it can take good depth of cut, and most of this time this is being used as a intricate shape wherein the shapes are too sloppy. In this case we can use it, as well as we can use it for finishing operation. Same way for this is being for rough cut, and this could be used for finish or semi-finish. Okay, any doubt within this? If you have any doubt, I'll wait for 2 minutes. Within the entire tool range, I will reopen the slides if you want it. then we will discuss it, and then we will start the programming session again. I'll wait for 2 minutes for your question, and then we will proceed further. With such combinations, how we can decide that which tool to use for which operation? See, most of the time people are deciding based on their experiences, but what I said, if the shape is not intricate, suppose that I wanted to make a step shaft, I would be selecting CNMG as a first tool that you can see on the screen. Okay, but if I'm having some curvilinear shape wherein the let me show you on the screen. Now suppose that if I'm having the component, okay, and if I wanted to use this CNMG, which is having 85 degree of cut. So if I will be using this to cut down, this material will be removed. So what I can use, I could be using VNMG, and I could be inserted that tool in this kind of region so that it won't touch the face. Okay. Any more doubts? This is how you will be able to select the tool. Okay. We shall take 10 minutes break, just refresh it all, and then we will again back with the programming styles and programming formats. Then see, the first part is over. The second part is related to programming. So we will be starting after 10 minutes. So join us. Yes, Prashant, what is the doubt? M09 stands for, M stands for miscellaneous code, and 09 along with M stands for coolant off. M0 and M08 stands for coolant on, M09 stands for coolant on. So that is nothing but a miscellaneous code. And EOB stands for end of block. See, if we write program on line 1 and we wanted to jump to the line 2, we will press input button in the machine controller that I have stated. It is a yellow color button. It is the only yellow color button. Previously, how we were doing, we were be writing this symbol. We were writing this symbol so that we can enter to the new line. So that the machine will, once this symbol is read by the machine, it will interpret that this block is over. Entire this line is being said as a single block. Okay, so this entire line and 20 up to this, it is being interpreted by one block. Okay, suppose that if I am writing the program like G0 X42 Z2, then in new line, if I will be writing X38, then I will be writing G0 G01 G0 X40 Z2. So it has three blocks: block number 1, block number 2, and block number 3. Okay, and previously we have to show this symbol while writing the program, but nowadays we are having input button in the computer itself, so no need to write that. We just press the input yellow color button onto the screen. Okay, any doubt within this? The difference between speed and feed. Okay, Muhammad. Yes, Mohammed. The difference between speed and feed is the speed here, the speed in terms of RPM, and feed in terms of linear movement of the tool or a workpiece. You must write the program in this manner. It should not be written like that. We starting with G01X and so and so, and we will be writing N20 at the end. It must be written in the particular sequence. Yes, Jay, there are so many cycles, but that is our the third day session. I will be explaining how do you cycle. Nowadays, end of block should not be written on the computer, nor the symbol of colon should be there on the machine. Okay. Nowadays, we just need to input. We just need to press input button to enter to the new line. But if we are writing the program on a piece of a page, then it is better to, then it is advisable to write either end of block as of word or represent the symbol so that others can understand. T03 stands for tool number 3. If I will write M06T2, if I will write simple, not entire line, but I will just write M06 T2, the machine will change from the current tool to the tool number 2. That is the meaning of T03 or T02 meaning, and there should not be space between that. It should be continuous. So where to assign this tool meant for this specific? See, this is just a generalized block. Once we start programming, I will be sharing the details regarding where to write what. Okay, so don't worry for now. Don't worry for it. We will be explaining once we start the program, but this is just the format so that you will be understand that how you will be starting writing the program. Okay, that is just a generalized block. We will write in a specific manner when we start the programming of a particular component. Would that be okay? Now absolute dimensioning. Suppose that we are having a job and we have see, there are two types of way. There are two ways by which we can do programming. One is absolute and one is incremental. So we must know the dimensioning pattern of the absolute and incremental. In absolute way, the dimension is being measured with respect to single 0 point. So here you can see we are having this coordinate 0 0, and this is the point where we will do work offset. I will explain the work offset later on when we start the program, but you can assume this point as x as a 0 coordinate and z as a 0 coordinate. This one is x coordinate and this one is your z coordinate. So the every dimension, suppose that if you are if we are having step shaft, let us take this as a dia 40, and here you just take the diameter 20. I just have represented the only half part, and the depth between this these two, let us say it is 15 mm depth. Okay, so suppose that if I wanted to indicate this point, suppose that if I wanted to indicate this point, then how do I indicate this point with respect to this point? This point for me it is 0 0. In this direction, as I said, lengthwise it is z, and the diameter wise this would be x plus, and on this side it is z plus. So from this point to this point, see, we must ensure that we will be writing x coordinate in diameter. We will be writing x coordinate in diameter and z in length. Okay, so this point, at this point, the diameter of the raw material would be 20 and the z would be 0. So coordinate for this point would be 20 0. The coordinate for this point would be 20 0. Coordinate of this point would be what? At this location my x would be 20 and my z would be what? Z at here it is 0. So this coordinate would be minus 15. So it is z minus 15. Got it? So this is nothing but absolute dimensioning. Let us take one more example. Here diameter 20, here diameter 20, and here is diameter 30, and all are the steps of 10 and 10. And let me give the number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Can anybody give me the coordinate of point number 1? Just put that on chat box. Anybody can give me the coordinate of point number 1. Make sure that you write x as in diameter and z as of single. So x will be double. Okay, and for all of us, at this point is 0 0. This is your z plus axis and this is your x plus. Yes, Jaipal. Yes, it would be, this would be tan 0. Now what about point number 2? Point number 2. Nice. Arav, Jaipal, Kaushik, Virendra. Good work. What about point number 2? Yes, point number 2 would be same because x would be 10 throughout this line. So it is 10, and in z we will be moving minus 10. So it is minus 10. What about point number 3? What about point number 3? Yes, exactly. Point number 3 would be 20 and minus 30. Good work. And what about point number 5? Let us skip point number 5. Just give me the point number 5. Point number 5. The diameter at point number 5 would be what? It would be 30 in diameter. Nice work, guys. And 10 plus 10. It would be 20 in depth. So it is 30 minus 20. Do you get the dimensioning pattern using absolute? We are considering dimension of point number 5 with respect to this origin point. Point number 4, 3, 2, and 1. All the points we are measuring with respect to the 0, 0 point. So that is what? Nothing but absolute dimensioning. And here if you read, all positions measured from single 0. That is what the process in here. Okay, so it is basic and simple, I think. Okay, now let us talk about the other dimensioning method, that is incremental dimensioning. That is incremental is also being represented as a relative dimensioning. In this case, what is the difference? That we will be having first point as a 0, 0. First point we will be having a 0, 0, but in the next point, what will be this point? The next point would be measured with respect to previous point. Now again, the third point would be measured with respect to its previous point, which is point number 2. Let me give it a number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now the location of point number 4 will be measured with respect to point number 3, and similarly this point will be measured with respect to 5. Now let us assume that all this gap are of 10 mm. It simply means that all the points are sparse at a distance of 10 mm. Now suppose that point number 2, the location of point number 2 should be what? It should be in z, it should be minus 10, and in x 0. Point number 3 would be what? Point number 3 should be measured from point number 2. So for point number 3, this point is a reference point. This point should be, the previous point should be the reference point. So this distance is 10. So considering this as a 0, 0, so this point would be minus 10 and 0. Similarly, point number 4, this gap is 10. For this point should be 0, 0. So it should be what? It should be again minus 10, 0. And for this also, this should be minus 10 and 0. Okay. Any doubt within this? Now suppose that if we have the again step shaft, we have the diameter 10, here diameter 20, and this gap is of 15 mm. For you, this point is offset point and it is 0, 0. This direction is z and this direction is x. Okay. Now can anybody tell me the coordinate of point number 1, point number 2, and point number 3? I just need the coordinates of point number 1 now. Tell me the coordinates of point number 1. For point number 1, x 10 and z 0. Okay. Yes, exactly. For point number 1, x should be 10 and z should be 0. What about point number 2? Point number 2. Point number 2. Just think and answer. No need to worry and answer. For point number 2, the 1 should be 0, 0. While getting this point number 2, the point number 1 should be 0, 0. No. All the answers were wrong. Considering, see, if we wanted to get this consider this as a 0 0 and identify coordinate for point number 2. Exactly, Eric. Nice one, Eric. It should be 0 and minus 15 because we are just moving in z direction by 15 mm. We are just moving in z direction by how much? From this point to this point, the distance is only 15 mm. So x should not be changed. Okay, so x would be 0 and z would be minus 15. Okay, nice work. Okay, now can anybody tell me what about point number 3? Point number 3, point number 2 must be 0. Point number 3 would be the same, tan 0. Nice work. Okay, see, while giving this, do not hurry in answering, but make sure that your answer is correct and you learn the topic thoroughly, because this entire program is related to only coordinates. If the coordinates are wrong, then there will be wrong coordination of tool workpiece, and if that happens, so you will be seeing the either tool is being broken or the workpiece is being broken, and we need to call for calibration and maintenance guide, which may cost 10-20,000 rupees for the silly mistake. So since it is a costly machines, we should be operating wisely. Okay, any doubt within this absolute and incremental? Let me repeat it simply one more time, that in absolute there will be only 1 0, but in case of incremental, the previous point would be considered as a reference point or a 0 point. That is the difference between absolute dimensioning and relative dimensioning. Okay, now we should know the little bit about G codes and M codes. We should be knowing little bit about G codes and M codes, and before doing it, let me prepare you one simple code for all of you guys so that you will be able to understand how the code is being built. Suppose that I wanted to make this simple job. Here the diameter is 20 and in here the diameter is 40, and we will be taking most of the time same example, and this gap is 15 mm. Okay, so the raw material would be like this. We have to remove this part, we have to remove this rectangle. Okay, and for this let us take CNMG. CNMG means it must have angle 80 degree and it is of rhombus shape. If we see it totally, it would be of this shape, the two. Okay, now let us assume that the tool now at current time the tool is at this location. Just assume that the tool is at this location. Tool has to reach from that location to this nearest location. Initially the tool is at point number 1 and it has to reach to point number 2. Okay, so I should be writing just basic program, not the entire. I will just write 4 to 5 lines program so that you will be able to understand the codes which we will be learning just after this. Okay, so if I will be writing G0 X 45 and Z2. What does it means? That tool currently tool is at any position which can be 1, but I need the tool to be at X40. So from this point this distance would be 45 in diameter. So half of the above and half should be below. So it should be 45 by 2, but we will be writing X coordinate in diameter. Okay, so it will be X45, and for the safety distance we will be keeping it 2 mm away so that the tool does not directly collide with workpiece, otherwise its front tip will be chopped off. Okay, अगर उससे क्या होता है कि उसकी फ्रंट की जो टिप रहती है ना वो एक झटके से निकल जाती है, और वो निकल गई, it means that the tool is being broken. So Yes. Now, what does this mean? G0 mean? G0 means rapid interpolation. G0 means rapid interpolation. For dx150, the rapid interpolation is 24,000 mm per minute. So the stool will start running rapidly. The stool will start running rapidly as it has read the G0 code. And it has to reach to which coordinate? The destination coordinate is x45 and z2. So the tool will reach to this location with this bitrate. That is what the meaning of rapid interpolation. If it goes very slowly from this point number 1 to point number 2, very slow, it is just the wastage of time. And to this movement from point number 1 to point number 2, since there is no machining is being happening, we can call it non-cutting movement. We can call this as a non-cutting movements. This must be non-cutting movements. Okay. So you got the meaning of the first line. It is G0, X45, Z2. Now what we have to do then after? We have to lower down the tool. We just have to lower down the tool. We just have to lower down the tool to which coordinate? To the coordinate of, see, this is 40 mm. So we must remove 2 mm in diameter, which means that 1 mm in depth of cut. So this coordinate in X would be 38. So I will be lowering down the tool X 38. I am just lowering down from this point number 2 to the next position, which is 3 number. So it is point number 2 to point number 3. Just shifting the tool from this location to this location. Okay. So that is X38. Since I am writing only X38, Z will be remain same. So Z will be 2. If I will write Z2, it's fine. If I will not write Z2, then also it is the same, because I'm just moving in X direction only. Okay, just need to redraw it one more time for you. So this will be the workpiece. I'm just repeating it one more time because that screen went off. Okay, this will be my 0, 0. This will be my Z plus axis. The above will be my X plus. Okay. The diameter at this location is dia 20. At this location, my diameter is 40. And let us say my current position of tool, which is C and M G, is at somewhere around this location, and that location I am giving it a 1 number. Now let me represent some of the portion of the raw material which we have to remove it. Okay, so we have to bring down tool from that far more location to the nearest location, and I'm just drawn the tool. Okay, and let me give that point number 2. So what we have to write in order to move from one number to point number 2, that is G0, which is linear interpolation, G0, X 45 and Z2. Like I have explained just now that if we write X40 and Z0, the tool will directly colloid to the workpiece, which should not be done. Tool should be somewhere nearer to the workpiece. I will address the question later on. So just be patient. Your question will be answered. Now we have to move from, since we start to cut, we have to move from point number 2 to point number 3. We have to move from point number 2 to point number 3. And for that, we have to write X38. So up till now it is X40, and then after we will be lowering down to 2 mm. So it is 40 minus 2, that is 38. Now we have to write what? G01. See, since we are start cutting, we have to move the tool from that location to the fourth point, okay, and this depth is 15 mm. This depth is 15 mm. So what we should write? G01. See, once we start cutting, when we start cutting, we should reduce the speed, because at 24,000 mm per minute we should not cut the tool. So we will be lowering down the feed rates, and since it is rough cut, I will be putting this little bit higher amount of feed rate. So G01. Now, what would be the coordinate of point number 4? Can I say that point would be only in the Z, which is Z minus 15. From here to here, this is at here Z02. At this location, Z is 0. And at this location, Z is minus 15. But in previous line, what we have wrought? We have wrought X38. So X38 will remain as it is, only it will change to the direction of Z. Okay, that is minus 15. And since it is G01, we have to define the feed, and I am defining the feed rate as 0.5. I can write 0.4 also. Here the unit of the feed rate is mm per revolution. So every revolution the tool will move inside by 0.5. Since it is a rough cut, I would be opting that. If it is a final or finished cut, I should be opting 0.15, 0.15 or 0.2 feed rate. Okay. So I just wrote 3 lines and 4. Now we have to get back to point number 2. Now we have to reach from this point number 4 to point number 2. Since we have removed the material, we should not go back to the point number 2 with a lower feed rate. We can write again rapid command. It is G0, X45 and Z2. Okay, so this is nothing but the lines. See, this is G0X45. At here you will reach point number 2. At here you will reach point number 3. At here you will reach point number 4, and here again you will reach back to point number 2. Okay, so this is what the program. Now let me see your question. At meet, sir, I want to know how you calculate the value D20. There is no D20 here. I don't know the question at meet. Amit Lainka, what is Z2? Z2 is a safety distance. We can call it a retract distance. Since the tool which is from here, it should not touch to the surface rapidly. So what we are doing, we are moving from here to nearest position rapidly. Then we are just engaging it lowly. Then we are start engaging slowly, so that the tool directly does not chop off its nose radius or front face. Okay. Is it clear, Amit? Then Param. No, it should not be Z minus 17. What I said, point number 3, at point number 3, Z is 2. Okay. The front face somewhere around here. See, at this location. Again, the screen went off, so I won't be able to see. But let me clearly for you. See, this is point number 2, this is point number 3, and this is point number 4. Okay, so at here Z is 2, at here Z is 0, and at here Z is minus 15. So Z is a coordinate, not the distance travel. So Z should not be minus 17, it must be Z minus 15. And yes, it is important to type feed in every G01. No, every time we should not write, but the first time we must write G01. We should not repeat feed rate every time. We must repeat every time if we are changing the feed rate, only and only then. Otherwise, it won't be necessary. Now, let us understand the meaning of it. Let me write the program one more time for you. The program is like G0 x45 Z2, then we wrote x38, then we wrote G01 Z minus 15 to iterate 0.5, and then we wrote G0 x45 Z2. So that was the program that we wrote. Aman, in Z, see, if you refer to point number 3, at that point number 3, the coordinate of Z is 2. At this code, see, at this, the value of Z is 0. Okay, since it is the workpiece, face of the workpiece. And at here, since the depth was given by me, that was 15. So that is Z minus 15. Okay. So this gap is minus 15, and that is why the coordinate at this is minus 15. You are right that we are moving 17 mm in that direction of Z, but we are not writing the distance moved. We are just writing the coordinates. Is that clear, Aman? Okay. Now, see, we must understand the G code. G code is a preparatory function. We must call G code is a preparatory function. Preparatory function means that it is being used to machine. It is being used to, or when G0 or G01 or 2 or 3, the commands like this comes, we must have some movement of the tool with respect to the workpiece. Okay. Now we have two types of model codes. One is model G codes and other is non-model G codes. Model codes means what? It is its effect. The G0 or G01 or whatever G code is there, its effect will remain in effect until and unless the subsequent code cancel out the effect. Now let us see the first part. See, here we have wrote G01. Here we have wrote G0 x45z2. In the next line, I have not written any G code. So it simply means that here we have not write anything. It means that the machine will read the previous condition first or previous line. From this previous line, it knows the machine will come to know that in previous line the machine was moving with G0 code, and G0 code is what? Model code. Since it is model code, its effect will remain in position, and since its effect will remain in position, this coordinate x38 from x45 to x38, it will move in rapid motion since it is a model code. What I said, model code means it remains in effect until another G code cancels it, okay, or subsequent code cancels it. So G0 effect will be as it is in the next line. Now in the third line, while defining coordinate in x or z direction, what I have wrote, I have just wrote G01. So previously it was working with rapid movement, but now since I have wrote G01 code. G01 code means linear interpolation. So it will cancel out the rapid interpolation and it will move with the stated feed rate, which is 0.5. Okay. So G01 cancel down the effect of G0 code. So this condition justified. So G0, G01, G02, G03, all the codes are model codes. Are you getting the meaning of model code? No, yes, G0 is not only blessing for tool and G01 for machining. No, it's a wrong manner. G0 and G01 both are used to move the tool. But G0 is for rapid and G01 is with stated feed. G01 માં આપણે જેટલી ફીડ આપેલી હોય એટલી ફીડ મૂવ થશે અને G0 માં મશીનની ડિફાઇન્ડ ફીડ હશે. મશીન પરચેસ કરતી વખતે જેમ મેં કીધું 24000 મિલીમીટર પર મિનિટની સ્પીડ એ મૂવ થશે. મોડલ ફંક્શન એટલે શું અમિત, કે જેની અંદર ફંક્શનની ઇફેક્ટ કન્ટિન્યુ રહેશે સબસિક્વન્ટ લાઇન સુધી. ઓકે, હવે આપણે આ જ કેસમાં જો જોઈએ, in our case appreciate In first line we just wrote G0. The first line will operate with rapid motion, but in second line we have not wrote anything G0, 0, 1 or anything. So what will happen? The machine will read the previous statement and it says that the machine is operating at a rapid speed, right? So this line will operate at a rapid movement, since the effect of G01 is on. Okay. Now in the third line, when it goes back, so G0 will be cancelled out by G01. G01 will be cancelled out by G01. That is why for this line, the tool will move with a feed rate of 0.5 mm per revolution. It will not with the rapid. Now if we go to the fourth line, in fourth line, G01 effect will be cancelled out by G0. G01 effect is cancelled out by G0. Okay. So what is the definition of modal function? That it remains in effect until other G code is there. Okay. So G01 ने replace कर से G0, G01 ने replace कर से G02 or 3. Like there are so many codes are there. So these are the preparatory function. And let us see some of the function. Okay. There are so many. I will be explaining the essential codes that we will be using it during the practice. So among them, the first one is G0. G0 stands for what? Rapid interpolation. G0 stands for rapid positioning or rapid interpolation. Okay. The DX150, I am repeating one more time. The capacity of DX150 is to move rapid tool at 24,000 mm per minute. Okay. Now, and this limit can be increased to 40,000. In vertical machining center, they might give up to that range. But for our case, we should not consider this. Okay. Now linear interpolation, that is, G02 is to move circular interpolation clockwise. G03 it is used to move circular interpolation anti-clockwise. So there are all the codes are modal codes that you can see. All these codes are modal function. G01 can be cancelled out by 2, G02 can be cancelled at 1, 0 or any of the code which is mentioned in this table. Now these are the non-modal code. Let us take the simplest code, that is 12. Suppose that I am having a plate. And I will be drilling the plate with the help of drill. Okay, so once we drill down the hole, we must hold the drill for certain period of time, and to that we are calling a dwell period. Okay, dwell simple means idle. Okay, so idle means the tool will hold for certain period of time or specified period of time, particularly at that location. So if I write G04 S4, it means that the tool will be rotating position, but it will not lift up or lift down during this 4 seconds. So G04 S4, the tool will be for that. Once after that line, there is no effect of the G04. The effect of G04 will be there up to that particular line only. It means that once the line is over, the effect of that particular G code is over. Okay. Now do you get the modal and non-modal code? See, we are not considering about anything related to milling. We are just talking about turning, because CNC is a vast field. I will not be able to cover up during this 3-day session so many activities. So let us focus it onto the turning center. Okay. So if you have doubt related to that, only please ask it. Otherwise, skip it for now. Otherwise, I will not be able to finish the session on time. Hope you can understand that. Okay. Now let us see some other modal and non-modal code. Now like I have stated, we can define feed rate in two ways. We can define feed rate in two ways. One is mm per minute and the other was mm per revolution. So in order to access feed rate in mm per minute, we must write G94. And if we are defining the feed rate in mm per revolution, then in the header files we must write G95, which means that, see, if we are having a header file and we write so and so programming lines, okay, so in this header files, if I wrote already 94, then for all the lines or all the G01 lines, the program will be operating with the feed rate in the unit mm per minute. So can I say it is a model function, since its effect will be on and on for all the entire program. Okay, so that is why it is being non-model. Sorry, it is a model function, and I have explained with G04 regarding non-model. Okay, so these are the codes, and these are some miscellaneous code. In miscellaneous code, we must know this, because we are rotating the tool in clockwise direction. So it is M03, then M04 for spindle turn anti-clockwise, M05 that we will be writing at the end to stop the indel. Once the program or machining has been over, what we will be writing? We will be writing spindle stop code so that the spindle will be stopped. Tool change auto, coolant on, and this line we will be writing the end of program and cycle rewind. End of the program and cycle rewind. It is being used to for mass manufacturing, when the one piece is over, loading out the second piece and restart the program. So M30 would be for that. Okay. And also, yes, we can write, if it is being operated to the for only one time, then you can write M02 also. Okay, that's all from the program side, programming. Now let us start the first program. Okay, now we will be making one program for the first time, considering all of this. Okay, first of all, we must know the tool that we will be using. That the tool we will be using is CNMG, and you know that the CNMG is having 80-degree corner, and it is having 0.8 mm corner radius. Okay, now for the simplicity, we will be taking as simple as possible component. We will be removing this dia 40 to dia 20 into the span 30 mm. Okay, and for my case, this point would be 0, 0. Okay, this is the work offset point. We will be discussing later on when we will be on the machine. So this point is work offset. This direction is Z plus, and this will be plus. Now we know that the first part, let us assume that the tool is at this location, and we will be getting the tool from this point number 1 to the point number 2. આપણે શું કરીએ છીએ? ટૂલ ને point number 1 થી point number 2 સુધી નજીક લઈ આવવાની ટ્રાય કરીએ છીએ. Now so for that, what we have to write? We have to know the distance. The distance of outer diameter is what? 40. So what we will be taking? We will be taking 5 mm extra distance in X and Z mm in 2 mm extra distance. So what we will be writing? We will be writing the first line, that is G0 X 45 Z2. We will be writing in that sense. Okay. Now after that, what we will be writing? After that, we have to lower down the tool. Okay, so the tool will be like this. Now at here, the tool will be like this. So this is just lowering down the tool by 2 mm. Okay, so what we have to write? 40 minus 2, that is G0X 30. If I write G0, it's fine. If I don't write G0, it's also fine. Okay, so it is x 38. Then after what we should do? Then after we have to move tool from point number this 3 to point number 4, which will remove this material. Okay, it will remove this material. So for that I should be writing G01 Z minus. Now at here Z is plus 2, at this location Z is 0, but the coordinate at this location is what? Minus 30. So what we will be writing? Z minus 30. We will be writing G01, and since it is G01, we must write feet for the first time, which is 0 point, let us say 0.4 for rough cut. Okay, so that is 2 to 3, 3 to 4. And how do we go back to this? See, now we have removed this 2 mm material. What we should write? We should write G0, because we are removing the tool, and it could be fine if we remove tool from this coordinate to this coordinate, or this coordinate to somewhere around there. Both of the way could be fine, but if we can observe, this pass is little bit larger than that of this. So we could have written G0 x, let me add 2 in 38. So I will be writing x40. So it is somewhere around here. I will be just lifting out the tool from that location 4 to this new location 5. And in Z, I would be adding 2. So let me explain in this sense that I will be lowering down 2 to 3. So this will be down, down, then 3 to 4, that is cut, and 4 to 5, that is retract. Retract means आपको आप tool को आप वापस बुला रहे हो, ठीक है? So we will be writing again the same manner. So this should be D, this should be C, and this should be R. So once we remove X38, okay, what we should be the next target from 5 point to 6 point, 5th point to the 6th point. Okay, so 6 point would be what? Let me subtract 2 mm from X38. So can I say it would be X36? Now we have to move from 6 to 7. So it is, can I say 6 to 7 is a cutting? So cutting we will be doing with slow motion. So G01 Z minus 30. It is fine if we write feed rate same in here, but if it is also fine if we don't write it, because it will take it from here. Okay, so I'm not repeating it again. So down cut, and then 7 to retract. Retract to which location? Previous. So it should be G0, adding 2 in 36. So it is X38 Z2. You just make the another loop. It's a feed rate. F0.4 is a feed rate in mm per revolution. Okay. Now I want you to prepare the third loop for me. What should I write in here? What should be the X? G01. What should be the Z? G0. What should be the X, and what should be the Z? Fill the blanks. (36) then after, yes, the first line would be X 34, since I have to move from 36 to 34. Good one, Eric. Then after what? Then G01 Z minus 30. Good one. And what should be that here? What should be the last line? Anyone else? Yes, 34 plus 2, that is 36, and Z 2. Okay. So this is the basic program that you have seen. Okay. Any doubt so far in this? If you are facing any doubt within this, please let us know. On the next session, which is on tomorrow, we will be learning how the detailed program, starting with the header files to the footer files, how do we write the entire program, that we will be seeing in detail, because today we don't have that much time. If you have any doubt within this, please ask me right now. Okay. Now I'll give you one simple exercise for all of you, wherein what you have to do. Let us say we have one job. Like this. Let us say we have a job like this. Okay. What you just need to do, you just have to prepare a table of x versus z versus points, like point number 1, point number 2, point number 3. Likewise, you have to fill the tables. Point number 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and the last would be 10. I will be sharing with you. Let us say this distance is 10 mm. I will be writing CHX 5 by 5. This distance is 10. This distance is 2. Let us say this radius is 3. This distance is 10. This distance is 5. And this is radius 3. Okay. So now you have to tell me what would be the coordinate of point number 2. Point 1 is x0, z0. Tell me the point number 2. Do you have any idea? What would be the coordinate of point number 2? No, it won't be 10, since this distance, this radial distance is 10. What I said, we have to write x coordinate in diameter. We have to write x coordinate in diameter. So this distance is 10. So 10 should be up as well as 10 should be off down. And I would be writing the coordinate of point number 2 in diameter. So can I say it would be 20, 0? Getting it? Okay. Now similarly, what should be the point number 3? See, this chamfer is of, it is CHX. It means chamfer 5 by 5. So this distance should be 5. This distance should be 5. So can I say I should be adding 10 plus 5, which is 15. 15 twos are 30. So the x coordinate of point number 3 would be 30. Okay. And in z it would be minus 5. Okay. Okay. Good one, Jaipal. Now point number 4. Point number 4, can I say x would be remain same, which is 30 of 30, and y would be what? Sorry, z would be what? 10 plus 5, which is minus 15. Okay. Now likewise, tell me point number 5. Tell me about point number 5. Point number 5, exactly. See, it is up to here, it is 30. 30 plus 2 twos are 4. So it is 34 minus 15. Good one. Nice one, nice one. Aman, you must correct it. It should not be 17 minus 15. It must be 34. Since we are taking dimension in of x in 2 times size of diameter. Point number 2 beta yes Baria. For point number 2, the distance is radial distance is 10 mm, and what I said, we have to write x coordinate in diameter. So 10 to the 20. That is what is 20 0. In point number 3, 10 plus 5 mm of chamfer. So 5 and 10 plus 5 15, 15 to the 30. Okay. Now give me point number 6. Point number 6, it is 34 plus 3 to the 6. Let us see, up to here it is 34. Up to here it is what? 34. 34 plus 3 to the 6, that is 40. And up to here it is minus 15. Minus 15 plus 3, that is minus 18. Okay. Good one. Point number 7. Point number 7, there is no increment in x, only increment in z. So it is 40 minus 28. What about 8? Give me point number 8. Tell me about point number 8. It is 40 or 50 or 60, what? It is yes. Up to here it is 40. 40 plus 5 to the 10. So it is 50 and 50, and this would be minus 28. So likewise, will you be able to solve on your own? Okay, so we shall end the session right now, so we can have lunch on time, and we will be continuing sharp 10:15 am tomorrow. આપણે કાલે સવારે 10:15 વાગે મળશું. Okay, with the continuing from here, and I will put one exercise so that you will be able to fill the table. Okay, for that prepare table for as many as possible, so that you are good at practice. Okay, so be practice with coordinate measuring system, and have a nice day.